what he is on here on television, he is at home and with his partner, which isn't with us today, and he needs to be here next time, or we'll get him. But do call us, and again, our telephone number in the greater Seattle area is area code 206-736-9688. And if you call the number, right there on the screen it is, if you'll call the number, and if you've got a question for myself or for Dennis about this issue, do call, and don't hesitate, don't wait. Just pick up that phone right now and call us and ask the questions. Because, you know, if I'll tell you, if Dennis doesn't know the answer, he'll find out what the answer is.
That's right.
And his cause, again, he's been with Green Cross and been one of the very first folks in this area with Green Cross. And, you know, from the little bit that I know about them, I've learned from you. And, you know, Dennis has, he has been such a challenge to me in my life. You really have. And to Steve's. And because, you know, you don't know about something unless you dive into it, and then you say, well, let's see about this. You know, let me get educated. So, friend, that's where, once again, you at home, you on the internet or wherever you are, again, we're going right back to education. You've got to be educated. I don't want anybody to be breaking the law. I don't want anybody to feel that it's perfectly okay for them to do whatever, because you'll end up suffering the consequences. But to do it right, to be able to get the information, to get educated. So this program today has been a program of education, to educate you, the viewers of this station. And for those of you who would like to record this, I hope that you have, so you can later go back and get re-educated, I guess would be a word, or re-familiarized with Dennis's story. And again, we will have Dennis back on the air with us again in the near future. And he will be, at that point, we'll open up more to Dennis, so he can, it won't be so much maybe at that point questions and, you know, here's your page, you know, nothing like that, but rather where you can maybe explore or dive in a little bit to your story, your life story, you know, from when you found that you were positive until today. What changes that you have made. But in closing, we have just a few minutes, but in closing, maybe briefly describe some of the changes that you've made physically, mentally, emotionally, health-wise, since you began to start using this, and notice, in the right way.
Okay. Well, for one thing, anybody who is genetically predisposed to get cancer, in other words, if cancer runs in your family, marijuana or cannabis has been proven, a couple of studies that were done a few years ago that by special permission from the federal government, because of the class of drug it is right now, it's not normally allowed, the studies are not normally allowed, but by through some court action, permission was granted, and it was proven that in at least a couple of forms of cancer that it inhibits tumor growth. And so it's interesting that when it became illegal in 1937, it wasn't that long after that that the rate of cancer in this country skyrocketed. And I have to wonder if maybe there's a relation there, I mean, a correlation there. And I believe there is, or otherwise I wouldn't have said that, right? Additionally, many ways. For me, I had the wasting syndrome real bad a few years ago, and I was encouraged to increase my medical cannabis use, and I did, and it kept me kind of lethargic a lot of the time, which I didn't enjoy. That's not really my cup of tea. But I did it as I would have done any other medication that made me feel kind of like that for a while, because I needed to do it. And it helped me turn the corner. I'm still thin, but I'm not skeletal like I was. There are, well, for instance, in my case, I am someone who has long since outlived everybody that I used to know because of AIDS. Everyone except for one of my old friends, that as far as I'm aware, died a long time ago. And I went to a lot of funerals.